Hello, comrade. Shanghai Knife Dude here. And I'm not sure how much you catch up with the current affairs. And I believe it was starting from yesterday. Because the US government decided to shut down the TikTok. But American people love TikTok. And they flocking to, there's another Chinese app called Red Note. They use that as they use that as a replacement of TikTok, and the American people in there, they call themselves TikTok refugee, and they need on learning the Mandarin and about the Chinese culture. I'm not sure how about because it's like almost 40% of my viewers come from the United States. So I'm just wondering, you guys probably will be interested in knowing some Mandarin, because on this channel I could teach you Mandarin, and other of your other fountain pen channel I don't think they will be capable of doing that. So let me just give you a quick tutorial, very simple, for fountain pen. Fountain pen in Chinese is gangbi. Gangbi for fountain pen. And in cursive character, that's in cursive, that's in print scale. Okay, gangbi in print script, that's in cursive. Okay, Mandarin lessons over. Let's jump to the main topic of our video today. This video will be about on the nib qualities, as I've been said a couple of times ago, and the note of this, the entire, that's what I'm going to talk about. And you can find the note in my YouTube, on my YouTube community post. I have posted a link on there, but YouTube just forbidden me posting the note, so I have a link on Reddit in my YouTube community, so you won't miss it. So it's very this topic will be quite large really, but I will try to do it as concise as possible, and I will skip the analysis bit. I will just jump straight to the conclusion bit. So just in case you don't have that much time to, it's just quick to digest. Just listen to the conclusion. Okay. So if you talk about nib quality, there are three things we have to discuss beforehand. Number one, steel or gold nib. Steel or gold nib, I don't think that is a question in 2025. That depends on your wallet. Okay? Steel or nib depends on your wallet. That is not, you don't have to worry about the corrosion of ink or whatsoever thing you've been heard about from retailer, because my channel probably will be one of the most hated channel on YouTube by those retailer. Look around all this YouTube channel, you all see TV shopping channel. They didn't share independent thoughts. Very, very few channels share independent thoughts. They were treating YouTube like a TV shopping channel. Okay, steel or gold nib depends on your wallet. The second, the stiff and the flex of the nib. That is probably one of the most significant properties you will be facing. But when you were having a nib pressing down the paper, but that question is a question of the methodology and the geometry. It's nothing to do with steel or gold nib, because sometimes some people they will say like gold nib is much more flex than the steel nib. That is true, but you could also having some very stiff gold nib. So it's the material and how they treat the material. I'm talking about heat treat, and also the geometry determine the final stiffness or the flexibilityness. I just invented this word probably. How flex it could be of the nib. Number 3, feedback. It's about how you write, how much resistance you will find. But you have to distinguish the feedback with misalignment. Okay, I will talk about misalignment later. But feedback is basically the feedback. For example, this is your tip, your gold nib, and the material of your nib is on this part. But it's the radium tips actually touching the paper, give you a feedback or doesn't give you a feedback, or give you a smoothness of the, or give you a, why that thing doesn't focus. Anyway, it's the radium tip is really actually touching the paper. So your feedback comes from the radium tips. Regardless it's a gold nib or steel nib, the radium tip will be the same. Okay? So the first, it's the tipping material. So it's the tipping material. And the tipping material varies between makers. For example, the same Japanese, the tip of the pilot, the radiant tip of the pilot is very different from the from the thaler. Yeah, the thaler with a lot of people saying with the pencil feedback, when you write it, give you that kinds of sounds. That is all due to because different maker, they have a supplier of that tip material. They don't make the tip material themselves. The tip materials come from chemical plant. Okay, it's the tipping material. Then it's the paper. It's the tip paper. The surface finishing. How scratch is your paper surface. It's nothing really to do with the thickness. It's really nothing to do with the thickness of the paper. For example, this paper is very thin. I believe it was like 20 gram or something, 20 gram something paper. But if they treat that very smoothly, it could be very smooth as well. So it's not about the weight of the paper. It's about the surface finishing of the paper. However, that topic, I don't believe it has been standardized and being discussed because it's a so complicated concept. The only exception I can find on the market is from Kyoto. Is the Japanese. Can you see it clearly? It's the Kyoto. No, sorry, it's not Kyoto. Kokuyo. It's the Kokuyo. Literally, it has different. It let you choose. How rough the surface you want your feedback and etc. And they want you want your service. Basically, apart from that, and this is the most premium paper from campus. And I was thinking a better way to talk about the topic of the feedback, but later on I find, first of all, you have to if you want to listen to my talking, you have to using exactly the same paper as mine. But that could be a challenge for some of you because the paper, you are not accessible to the same paper as I'm using now. I'm also won't be able to access your funny paper you are using. So that's the question. So the paper surface finishing is another topic that could impact their feedback. Another most important fact is the hand pressure, how much pressure you put on the paper. It will be ridiculous. For example, once you really felt this is a sailor Nakitana. Did they call Nakitana or something? This is sailor. This is quite flex nib. But at the pressure, if I press down the nib up to the level when I can feel the flex, it already too much. If I'm writing gently, I won't be able to feel the flex. If I really pushing down, unless you are performing some performing some choreography stuff, if you're just writing your journal, to be honest, you won't able to feel this flex. So you won't able to tell the flex, and also you can also control the feedback from the nib. This is to say, if I press down, it gives me a lot pressure. If I just write normally, the resistance is minimal. So feedback is another topic that really it's confusing people nowadays. So don't confuse. So if you're really heavy-handed, and you complain about you have a pen with too much pressure, that's not the pen's problem, that's your problem. Okay. With that, given that, I believe I have spent like 12 minutes on that. Given that, now we can jump to the four aspects when we could talk about the quality of the nib. First of all, get a loupe, get a jewelry loupe like this. Okay, 8 times is for 8 to 10. I believe that one is 10 times. 8 to 10 times is very good for pen. 20 times is for watchmaking. I believe I have it, but I don't have. It's to put on your spectators, and you really have to dig down to watch. The only difference is the angle of view. For this high resolution, you really have narrow. You really have that narrow angle of view over there, and also it's the distance. How close your eyes, your loupe, and your subject. The distance between the three make it all difference. But the conclusion is go by 8 times or 10 times resolution is good enough for you to examine your pen tip. Without a loupe, you don't know what you don't know. It's really difficult for naked eyes to examine the nib really. Or the nib master got that thing too. Let me show you what it really looks like. All my micro shots was from, because I'm doing a video here, you can't really see the lightning is poor, but literally that's almost the whole idea. Let me do it one more time. Oh yeah, better. Now you can tell the alignment and the cut of the slits of the nib. You have to get one of those. Because what I'm going to talk about next is all about things you can. It's only visible in the loupe. Okay, we are giving up. We are stepping down. We are giving up the naked eye. We are going up a little bit deeper. And the second point, after you get in the loupe, you were to examine the how do you pronounce that thing? Symmetry? Symmetry. You have to explain the symmetry of the nib. Symmetry of the nib, it usually indicates two things. It usually indicates two things. It usually indicates two things: the slit cut and the tip cut. The slit cut, it means here, is your slit has been cut 50-50. This one equal to that one, because I just saw a post on Reddit a couple of days ago, and the slit, even the slit is not evenly cut. Horrible. It's a Pilot Metropolitan. The slit should be evenly cut. Also, the nib, the tip also need to be evenly cut. By saying so, evenly cut, it's the very optimal result you will be gonna be happened. In most cases, you will find your nib, regardless how much it is, from Monte Grappa to Jinghao, you will find your nib is for 6. It's not even, it's slightly off. It's like 40, it's divided by 40-60%. So that is still the passing grade. That is still the passing grade. It's still acceptable. Even the Pilot, I see all the good pens, all the expensive pens, especially the gold pen, especially the golden pens, mostly slit. It's 40%, 60%. It's not evenly cut. For all the steel nib, for all the Jinghao and the Mahjong, check my other video, my recent acquisition of the Mahjong C5. That slit is 50-50 cut. That's awesome. Now, and to examine how the cut of your nib, you have to give a view. You have to give a view, a full view, full view. The front view, seeing from the top, that's the front view. Then the back view. Believe it or not, sometimes I find if the slit is evenly cut from the front, but when you turn back from the back, no, it's not even. It's like it's off. Very strange. That especially happened to gold nib. Then the peduncular, that literally means here. You have to, yeah. You see that nib, even from the camera, you can tell it's not, is it? It's not evenly cut from the top. You see even from the video, it's off a bit. This nib is a handmade nib. I got it only available in China. But let's see another one. Let's see the Sailor Naginata. That's a Sailor Naginata. Is that centrally cut? It happens all the time, because all the Sailor nib is not perfect neither. Bear in mind, all the gold nib is questionable. Yeah, that's an evenly cut one. No, it's still not that even, I would say. No, it's not that even. No, you see? It's also not that even. But it's better than the previous example. Okay, basically, I leave that to yourself to. Then another final view is the side view. From the side view, you will see misalignment. you will see misalignment. Basically, that happens to all the pens out there. You will see misalignment. Misalignment means your tint is higher or lower than the other. You will see it's apart. It's anyway. It's not in one line. It's not in one line. It's not. You will see the other tint from the other side. But anyway, that one, and I can tell you, it's not unique. Misalignment is the most easily solved problem, and basically I come across misalignment very often, very often. It's not something unusual, and it's easy fix. You just use your finger to tip. Check your YouTube. There's some very good video of it. And once you know, and once you realize, and once you know how to examine your tip, yeah, and you come across to the third of the issue, it's the grinding, or we should say tip shape. Is it a standard? Is it a standard tip, or it's a special grinding? Special grinding literally means stub nib, architect nib. Then those Nakitana grinding. Nakitana is from Sailor, and the equivalent from the Chinese version is they call it long knife, long blade knife, or 军来军锋, because the naginata written in kanji, it's long knife grinding. You see, they just taking these two characters, long knife. You have the long blade, you have the knife, or even the string line. The naginata version from the string line is called JF. JF stands for 军锋. Jun Feng. Jun means string line, and Feng means blade. You see? Now, Jun Feng. Jun means string line. Feng means blade in Chinese. Now that makes sense to you, okay? So the nib quality. Standard nib, very cheap. Special nib, extra money. So easy. So easy to understand, yeah? Now that brings to the final topic of our discussion is the consistency of the cut of the grind. Because what I find, even for the Sailor Naginata, or the Dreamlight blade something, yeah, you will find the antique, the pen they made in the past, even for the same grind, Naginata grind, it's different. The shape is different. Why is that? Because I work it out. When they were designed in the first place, or I should say it's the tradition they are hold on to, is really the standard of their concept. But that is the only concept. But what they are facing is nib grinding is actually a manual work. It's a manual grinding process that inevitably come to the balance between quality control and the real cost. Are you with me? The tradition or design of a grind it's how the brand made its name, but when it's in production, it's facing the real cost pressure, because the whole process is a manual grinding process. So in order to bring up your QC or stick with your tradition, you have to bring up the manual grinding process. It's very too easy to understand. For example, you just made 10 gold nibs, and only one is passing, one is in line with the QC. What will you do? Get rid of the 9? Pass 1? Would that be possible? I don't think so. And this is not only the question for July. This is not only the question for July. This is also the nib for all pen makers around the world, from sailor to pilot. I believe pilot is one of the brands with the most high consistency. So pilot really have some magic happened in their manual grinding process. And from Mont Blanc or Pelican, etc., you will find the antique Mont Blanc. They will say it's the grinding is very different. They're very different from their current version, and also it's different. The grinding is also different between the generations. Now we are come at the sixth. Now we are in the sixth versions. Now we are in the sixth generation of it. But the early generation, the grinding is different. Not only the grinding is different, but also the flexibility and the stiff is different. The flexibility and the feedback are also different. So that's basically all. 26 minutes. Okay. So that's basically all I want to talk about the nib qualities, or the nibs qualities. So the notes is available. The notes is available in my YouTube community. You can download it and have a look around, and go get a loupe. Then you know what I'm talking about. So this is like this will be the start of my series video. I will upload later a series video of all the pens, expensive or inexpensive, Chinese or European or Japanese. And I will have that micro shots ready. So you can tell by the criteria I listed over here. You can tell who is the best grind. Then you probably will find gold nib is with the lowest consistency of there, or it's from sailor to Junlai to the German one is the most is the consistent. Is always a issue. They didn't cut it evenly for the gold nib. Usually you find gold nib on this criteria. You see, that's the line cut in the middle. That's the even cut. You will find it's off a bit. Sometimes it's off even horrible bit. That's not a passing grade, by the way. You shouldn't see that kind of pen around. But it still happens sometimes, especially for some pen makers from Italy, who I shall remain nameless here. Okay, that's basically everything about it. The notes are available, and all the thing you should pay attention to was over here. And this video generally is as the introduction of a series micro shots video. So my conclusion, my points of this video is here. My conclusion is nib quality. The nib quality, it's really a trade-off. It's really a trade-off between usable and the QC. It's really between, is it usable? If it is usable, yeah, it's passing the QC. The manufacturer's QC sometimes, you see, that manufacturer's QC is set at a lower grade of that's a perfect pen. That's a acceptable grade. Manufacturer QC is set at this level. So sometimes you will trade off between whether this pen is an evenly cut that is a perfect grade or usable grade. Most of the time you will find your pen is in most cases is at a usable grade. It doesn't matter which country it comes from, Japan, Germany, or China. In very rare occasion, you will find a gold nib. You will find a nib that is half past. That is the mahjong. That is the mahjong C5. Go to my micro shots video. You will see how beautiful this nib is. This nib is evenly cut. That is beautifully cut at here. Okay, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. And if you want to learn more about Mandarin, I see you in the next video. So let's just do a quick recap. Fountain pens in Mandarin, it's gang bi. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye.